alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today is day 5 of Ramadan, and we'll be taking lessons from the life of Prophet Saleh. And with us is Hamida Akol. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What can you tell us about Prophet Saleh?
The Quran tells us about some prophets who were not mentioned in the Bible. Among them is Prophet Saleh. Prophet Saleh existed in today's Tabuk of today in Saudi Arabia. Particularly, this can be traced back to when the Prophet Sallallahu and his companions were going for the battle of Tabuk. So he told them not to stay too long in that particular place where they existed. So Prophet Saleh was sent to the people of Thamud. The people of Thamud cultivated very rich, fertile land. They had become very vain because of their wealth. They worshipped many gods. They oppressed the poor among them, and they lived the lives far from the kind of lives Allah wanted them to live. So Prophet Saleh's message to them was just for them to turn away from their bad behavior and worship only Allah. But the people of Thamud were very stubborn, and they refused to accept the message Prophet Saleh was bringing to them. You know, Allah can speak to us in different ways. Sometimes He speaks to us through people, events, and any other thing, name it. But the way Allah decided to speak to the people of Thamud was through the story of a camel. Allah says in Surah Al-Hud, verse 62, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قالوا يا صالح قد كنت فينا مرجوا قبل هذا أتنهانا أن نعبد ما يعبد آباؤنا وإننا لفي شك مما تدعونا إليه مريب. The people of Thamud were very vain that they refused to accept that Saleh was a messenger of God. So they asked for a sign to prove his credentials. You see, they didn't just even ask for any sign. They were very specific. They pointed at a huge rock and then told Saleh that he should tell his Lord to create a she camel out of it. Prophet Saleh agreed to this on one condition, that they would believe in Allah alone, and to this they agreed. So Prophet Saleh prayed to God, and from it came a wonderful she camel. It was even pregnant and soon to give birth. And Prophet Saleh said to them, وَيَا قَوْمِ هَٰذِهِ نَاقَةُ اللَّهِ لَكُمْ آيَةً فَذَرُوهَا تَأْكُلْ فِي أَرْضِ اللَّهِ وَلَا تَمَسُّوهَا بِسُوءٍ فَيَأْخُذَكُمْ عَذَابٌ قَرِيبٌ. This she camel of Allah is a sign to you. Leave her to feed on Allah's earth and inflict no harm on her, or a swift punishment will seize you. Quran 11 verse 64.
Wow. That actually relates to so many things. Even today, before anyone can believe anything, they have to be approved, or something has to happen to them before they believe that Allah is true. And the thing about it is that they know that Allah is true, but they just want to have a pride. They want to have something to say before, being kind of full of themselves. And it has happened so many times, one pandemic or the other had to happen before some people even had to turn to Allah, and it's quite shocking about that.
Yeah. So the people of Thamud, they were like, oh, so what is going to happen? But the she camel continued to live among them, and it soon gave birth to a calf. So some of the people believed because of what they seen and what they had promised to Prophet Saleh. But some people, stubborn as usual, they didn't. And the she camel and its calf, it will graze among the other herds, and they will drink water together. In fact, it used to drink one day, and the other animals will drink the other day. And Prophet Saleh ordered them that they should leave it to drink from the well for one day, then others on the second day, as Allah ordered in Surah Al-Qamar, verse 28. وَنَبِّئُهُمْ أَنَّ الْمَاءَ قِسْمَةٌ بَيْنَهُمْ كُلُّ شِرْبٍ مُحْتَضَرٍ. She has a right to drink water and you have a right to drink water, each on a day appointed. So this was supposed to convince the people of Thamud to be kind to the camel and its calf, but some people didn't still believe. So they were angry to the extent that they killed the camel and its calf. And Prophet Saleh was very angry, and he told them that there was no reason for them to kill the she camel and its calf because it hadn't done anything to them. So he told them in Surah Al-Hud verse 65, فَعَقَرُوهَا فَقَالَ تَمَتَّعُوا فِي دَارِكُمْ ثَلَاثَةَ أَيَّامٍ ذَلِكَ وَعْدٌ غَيْرُ مَكْذُوبٍ. Enjoy yourselves in your home for 3 days. This is a promise that will not be belied. So the people of Thamud, they were destroyed, and what destroyed them can be traced back to Surah Al-Haqqa verse 5. أَأَمَّا ثَمُودُ فَأُهْلِكُوا بِالطَّاغِيَةِ. So as for the Thamud, they were destroyed by the blast. The people of Thamud were destroyed by the blast in Surah Al-Haqqa. So from this story, there are different lessons that can be derived. So number one is that we should not put Allah to test. Like, don't say, okay, for me to believe, I need signs and proofs, even because it is obvious that the whole of the creation is enough sign for you. So don't put Allah to test. And another lesson is, when things are going good for us, we tend to agree, but if they are going the other way, we forget. Like many of us, we say, okay, God, please let me pass my exam. If I pass, I will do this, I will do that. But later on, maybe when you eventually pass, you just forget and you be like, oh, please, if you have a promise, fulfill it. Between you and Allah, or between you and everyone or anybody, please fulfill them. It's not good.
You can also say that it's also not good to, hurt animals. Animals do nothing wrong to us, especially the domestic ones. It shows that Islam really cares about animals that are domestic, and that we shouldn't hurt them unnecessarily if there's no point of hurting them. Yeah, and Prophet Salih has really taught us something very important, which is that God's will is a blessing on its own. Alhamdulillah, and that was day 5 of the Ramadan program. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube on Medina NG. And don't forget to smash that like button. Ma salam.